Hello, my soul family. Welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network and this new live Q&A chat radio show. In these chats, I'm basically going to be answering any questions that you guys leave me in the forum section. So you can head over to my website, christophermers.com/forum. Follow me on all my social media to keep up on the latest updates and all the new shows that are going to be recorded. So I came up with a few questions here that I've been asked by people personally through emails, through direct messaging. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. But I would much prefer that you guys leave the questions in the forum section so that others can see them as well. Because chances are that there might be other people experiencing the same things that you are at this current moment. Remember that we are a collective energy and we all feel these at some level in different ways, but at the core, it's the same experience. So I was really interested in what this person asked me because I was also experiencing this. And, someone asked, what does it feel like to spiritually awaken? Now, I know this is a very basic question, but truly sometimes we need to get back to the basics. Because this journey is truly about learning our lessons about the past and then re-experiencing it in a better way the second time around. So we are always evolving. We're never there yet, you see. When you're on your spiritual journey, it's an ever-evolving journey. It's a never-ending story because there's always something that you can improve. And this progress is what keeps us motivated to keep going in life. When you spiritually awaken on your journey, you basically awaken to a new reality available to you. A new way of doing things, a better way. You also awaken to the spiritual realm and you realize that there's more than just the physical. There's more than just the material. There's more than just this matrix. And it becomes a journey of discovery of self and also of this other new world. Because when you first awaken, chances are that you know very little about this other world. Unless you're very experienced on your journey or you have mastered already your journey, which doesn't come until years later on your journey. So that's why I dedicate my life to teaching people about the spiritual journey. Because truly everything that I teach has some way of expanding your eyes and your perception as to what life is about, because there's more to life than what you think. And this is what I try to explain to people. But let me give you this first key and secret to truly experience an evolution on your soul journey. And the divine is telling me to share this with you, and that is to keep an open mind. Because our mind has the ability to expand your horizons or to keep you stuck in the old, in your constrictions. And this is what we're needing to break out of right now. And this is what the spiritual awakening is all about. It's about breaking free from the norm, breaking free from the constrictions, breaking free from what we thought we were supposed to be, right? Because we have the freedom to be anything we want to be in life. No one is holding you back but yourself, your own mind chatter, your own self-limitations. And my job here as a light worker on this planet is to help people awaken to their unlimited potential. You can achieve anything you want, but the trick here is that you need to believe in yourself. You really need to be willing to go after it and persevere on your journey. Through the ups and downs, through all the obstacles, overcome them. And keep striving towards that top of the mountain. But also the next secret on this spiritual awakening journey is not to give up, obviously, and not to dwell on the past. Leave the past behind and keep moving towards the future. And the other part of this is that you need to believe in your ability to conquer your fears and not get stuck on always needing to seek the next mountain to climb. So what this is about, it's about truly enjoying the journey, okay? Because when you awaken on your journey, it's very difficult because at the beginning of the journey becomes the shadow aspect, right? It's that dark night when you have to face your past, your mistakes, your failures. But you need to remember that those do not define who you really are. Who you really are is yet to come, and that's your ideal self that you're striving to be. That's your life mission, right? Is becoming that ideal you. So of course this is a life journey. And being that it's a life journey, it means that it's a long journey. So we need to enjoy the process and trust the way that things are unfolding in that process. Because that is the joy of life. It's being in the present moment. And we can't lose touch with that most important aspect, because that's where people get lost, and that's where people spiral down or even backwards, right? And this is what I'm here to emphasize to you about this spiritual awakening. When people awaken on their journey, it's truly not so much about what you're gonna gain, but it's more about what you need to lose, right? What you need to let go of from the past. And of course, this will be a grievance process in your life, but the sooner that you can just surrender and let go and unattach to the past, to what could have been, or to your own expectations as to how it's supposed to be, then you can move on to the journey. Because the awakening is only one aspect of the journey. It's just the awakening. Literally, is like when you wake up from a long slumber, when you awake from a long night of sleep. You're just getting started. You're just getting back in touch with your physical body, because throughout the night you've been in the astral realms, you've been in dream state, you've been in an out-of-body experience. And when you get back in touch with reality, it usually takes a cup or two of coffee, right? It usually takes a little bit of silent meditation and walking on your bare feet until you finally awaken and the sun is shining bright on your face and you're ready to start your day with motivation and vigor. This is exactly how the spiritual awakening occurs. It takes that awakening and that readjustment to the reality while seeing through new eyes, and then you're able to step into the world wiser and more capable of inspiring the world with your own experiences that you've learned on your journey. And that's what I have to say about what the spiritual awakening is really about. And it's different and unique for every one of us. That's the thing as well. And that's the beauty of sharing our stories with one another, creating the support group which I've created here for you guys, because everybody's journey is different, yet at the core of it, it has a same lesson and morality behind it, right? And this is what we can share with one another, because we realize that we're not in this alone. And when people awaken on their journey, they can feel alone, like no one understands them. But let me tell you why. It's because initially, when you awake on your journey, you realize that the people you've been hanging around either are not supposed to be on your mission or on your path anymore. Maybe they're not resonating or vibing at the level that you are. Or maybe they were just karmic lessons in your life that you need to let go of now, right? Because you've learned the lesson. And being any longer in those situations or relationships can only hold you back and can impede you from your spiritual growth. So when you awaken on your journey, it's basically like you're maturing spiritually. And of course it can be scary because there is this unknown that comes along with it. But this unknown is a beautiful thing, because on the other side of this unknown is a beautiful story and a magical new world. And you really need to open your heart to this and be ready to receive. And be diligent enough to follow on God's instructions along the way. Because you will need to make changes and you will need to make sacrifices. But that's okay, because in the end, they will be well worth it. Okay? So that is what I have to say about that. Another question that another person asked me recently was, I'm experiencing some weird bodily symptoms. It's disturbing me. Is this normal on the spiritual journey? Of course it's normal. I actually just taught this on the Cosmic Consciousness episode, and we went over these ascension symptoms, and I have also done a video on this in my Mindset Talks. So you can take a look at all those videos in my School of Light membership. And basically, when you awaken on your journey, you are going to experience these weird physical symptoms. They could range from either, the typical physical ones like nausea, or like, not feeling in your body, but feeling outside your body, like a weird out of body experience. You can feel like maybe a little bit of loss of coordination. You can actually experience headaches. You can experience clumsiness. And on the other side of things, you can experience other kind of symptoms. Like, for example, it could be more mental or even emotional. Like maybe you're hyperly sensitive, or maybe you're, experiencing the development of spiritual gifts, or maybe you're just having a hard time concentrating or focusing. Any sort of those kind of symptoms are absolutely normal as you're awakening on your spiritual journey. And it's just a readjustment, because your body is going through literally a readjustment. This is why I recommend that when you're on your spiritual journey, you really take care of your health and wellness, because by eating nourishing, high vibrational foods, you're enhancing your physical body's ability to be able to have a hold of your spiritual being within. Because as your spiritual being within is evolving, your body is eventually going to become too heavy. So if you're eating like heavy animal flesh foods, meat especially, it's going to be very difficult for your spiritual body within to feel comfortable in your physical body. So these physical symptoms are going to be heightened, because it's trying to catch your attention that your body is wanting to feel more light. And it begins, of course, with our diet, our health and wellness rituals, our spiritual practices. So it's very important that we're always breathing enough, because remember that oxygen is our life force. So meditation, pranayama, breathing, these are all important for keeping us spiritually aligned. And our spiritual rituals, like our salt baths, our long showers, our prayers, our saging and Palo Santos, all of these cleansing rituals really do make a difference in easing out these physical ascension symptoms. Okay, so that's my answer to that question. It's absolutely normal. And if you want to learn even more detail about that, take a look at the Cosmic Consciousness episodes on my School of Light. And the third question and last question that I'm going to answer for today is, no one seems to understand the recent changes in my life. I feel alone on this journey. Any advice? So like I just said, you're not alone on this journey, right? You have your spirit team behind you 24/7. Our angels are literally all around us. This is why I've even been guided to create this new addition to my oracle decks that I use in my morning spiritual messages videos that I do in the Spiritual Counseling TV network. I created the first two decks, the Spiritual Guidance deck and the Affirmations deck. And I'm going to be adding some angel messages, because the angels have really been all around me lately, especially as we are going through all of these astrological changes. With this new moon in Cancer, it's definitely been very, very emotional, sensitive, and vulnerable, right? And the angels are here to remind us that they're all around us. And you're never alone on this journey, because first of all, the divine is always with you. The more closer your relationship with the divine, which is the first level of sacred union, is us with source, right? We need to develop this. The only way that we can develop this is in our solitude hermit mode. So don't be afraid to actually physically be alone, because even though it's like this old saying, right? This cliche saying that says, even though you're physically alone, you never feel alone, because spirit angels are all around you. God is all around you. The divine is within you. So you're not alone, really. But if you don't have this innate relationship with the divine, you could be in a crowd room of people and feel so alone. And that's the difference between being spiritually awakened and spiritually asleep, basically. And I actually, in today's spirituality retreat, bonfire ceremony, or should I say sound bowl ceremony, I came across this topic that has been coming up a lot. And this is also an ascension symptom, right? Spiritually sick, feeling spiritually sick can happen either when you're misaligned. So maybe you do not have this relationship with the divine, or if you're feeling spiritually sick, you can be experiencing these upgrades, light code activations, ascension symptoms, basically. And I've been experiencing this very much lately, and I've been needing more time to recharge. You regenerate with your rituals, with your alone time, in prayer, in silent meditation, and just connecting with the divine and listening all around you. That's been a powerful message from the divine lately. Listen. Because signs and synchronicities are all around us. And this is what spiritual alignment is all about, right? Our body, mind, and spirit aligned. 333. That numerology synchronistic number has been coming up a lot. And this basically stands for the alignment of body, mind, and spirit. And 33 is also the ascended master number for Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, it was the ultimate healer who walked this earth. And he is here to heal us. So you see, we're never alone. We're surrounded by our angels, our ascended masters, our spiritual ancestors. I've been connecting a lot to spirit animals as well. And ancestors, like literally ancient ancestors in spirit, in dream state. I come across the same spiritual being twice already. And I really feel like this is my own personal spirit guide that has been connecting with me recently. And it's a very, very ancient one because he or she has white hair, like white hair. And I know it's an ancient being connecting with me and guiding me on my journey and what to transmit to the collective in my messages, in my speeches, and in my spiritual business. And I'm glad for this guidance because this is what always keeps me motivated to keep going and energized and passionate about my life. We need to affirm to ourselves on a daily basis, I love my life, because this is what keeps us aligned and full of vitality and energy and spiritual power to keep going on our journey. So thank you for these questions, and please leave more of your questions that you have on my forum. And if you would like on this video as well, but I would much prefer on my forum where you can get one section where all the questions can be and people can see the questions and know that they're not in this alone and look forward to these videos. So these videos are going to be live on my Spiritual Counseling TV network. I have a private chat there. So I will be chatting there live with you guys. And then I will be recording this radio show. And then I will be posting it on YouTube so that other people can also have access to these questions. So thank you all for becoming a member of my Spiritual Counseling TV network and getting your daily, weekly guidance that's exclusive for you all. And I also, if you download the app, you can, which is basically on the banner as soon as you enter my webpage, you will get access to these exclusive SMS texting notifications that I send every now and then as I feel guided to do so. Make sure you follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm wishing you all an amazing and beautiful journey. Namaste.